guys, this is Rydon Academia, and today we are still on our series on correction of errors that do not affect the jar balance agreement. Okay, today we'll be looking at error of original entry. Okay, error of original entry. Alright, now an error of original entry is simply an error where a wrong amount was entered in both cases, okay, in both accounts. A wrong amount was entered in both accounts. So in an error of original entry, meaning the account was debited or credited correctly, but the issue was in the amount. Alright, the mistake was in the amount. So here we'll be balancing our accounts by making the necessary transaction. Okay, if there was a mistake in our amounts, meaning that amount will either be an undercast or overcast figure. Okay, so in that case, by correcting the error, we'll be taking the adjustment to meet up with the amount required. Okay, now I'm going to take a first example. Okay, so we're taking an example. We have that a purchase of goods of 3,301 naira, okay, from Ayo was entered as 3,103 naira. So quickly, I'll be writing the two amounts. The original amount is 3,301 naira, okay, but the amount entered in the books is 3,103 naira. Are we together? So it means the account was successfully or correctly debited and credited as it should, but the amount was the issue, right? So in this account, what we simply do is we take in our difference, okay? Alright, so now this is the amount, okay? If you can see, the error made resulted in an overcast, right? So what we'll be doing is to balance up the error, right, that was entered in our books. The amount that was entered is smaller than what needed to be entered, right? So in correcting this error, we'll take the difference between these two accounts, right? So we'll be saying 3,301 naira minus 3,103 naira, and that will give us 198 naira altogether. So we'll be entering in 198 naira on the correct amount, okay, so that we can balance up to get this value. Are we together? Now it was a purchase, right? A purchase of 3,301 naira. All right, so purchases account generally will be debited. All right, so since the mistake is an undercast, it also means we'll be debiting this amount. All right, so that we can meet up with this. So quickly we'll be debiting our purchases account with this amount now, 198 naira, right? And then we'll be crediting Ayo's account, okay, because that amount was also entered in both places. So we'll be crediting Ayo's account with 198 naira. Alright, so we can now describe this entry. Like I said, your description should reveal what you just done. So we can say undercast, okay. So I said undercast of purchases from Ayo has now been corrected. So now we'll be taking a second example. Cash payment of 95 naira. Alright, a cash payment of 95 naira was entered into the books, okay? A cash payment of 95 naira to Ronald. Ronald should also be a supplier, but it was entered into the account, or both accounts, as 359 naira. Okay, so this error now, the amount we are supposed to pay, or we are talking about, is 95 naira, but the amount entered is 359 naira. So this is resulting in an overcast. Okay, the amount entered is more than the amount that was supposed to be entered. So here we'll be reducing the amount, and reducing, that means we'll be counter entering. Okay, in this case we have a payment, right? It's a payment to Ronald. Alright, so in this case our cash book is going to be credited. Alright, but since it was overcasted, we'll be debiting our cash book, alright, to correct this error, and then we'll also be crediting Ronald's account to correct that error. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is to find our difference. Okay, so the first thing we'll do, we'll find our difference. Okay, since what we entered is bigger than what we're supposed to enter, now we'll be taking the difference between these two accounts, and we'll be having 264 naira. Alright, so that means we have to remove 264 naira from the amount we entered in our cash, and then the 265 naira from the amount we entered for Ronald. Okay, since it was a payment, we'll be debiting our cash book. Okay, since our cash book was credited with this payment, in correcting this error, we'll be debiting our cash book with this amount, so that it will cancel off, and then we're left with our balance. So in our cash book, we'll be entering 264 naira. Alright, and then in Ronald's account, we'll be crediting his account with 264 naira. Okay, because the mistake was made in both accounts. So we can now say what? Correction of overcast of payment to Ronald. Right, so this is my own description. Are we together? So we've come to the end of correcting our errors of original entry. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, watch our previous video to gain more insights, share our videos with your friends, like our videos, turn on your notification buttons. We'll see you in our next class. Thank you.